Hey people, Injured here, 3v3 Faction War. This is Estia Province and Chaos Space Marines versus Orks, or should I say, a bunch of Plague Marines versus Orks. It must be my birthday. We've got Pianot, who may be Pianot, I don't know. Murshraam, also known as Shroom. There's some like pre-heresy Emperor's Children. I didn't think they got the memo about what happened. And OceansAteAlaska, these guys are jolly Nurgle fellas with damage over time bolt guns. They can get melee weapons, some decent utility, and support can build turrets and repair, but are pretty slow. Red Orks boss is a Kommando Nob, infiltrating hero that shoots you, stabs you, and blows you up. Orky style begins in ranged combat with a twin link shooter. Death Skull is elite scheme here with the hood and the top knots. Alongside handsome Sodding, Warboss, a melee hero that can walk through objects, raid offense, disruption, and support. From the front line is the Freebooters DLC. Who doesn't like pirate orcs? And Qwest rounded off the teams here with a Mekboy, a teleporting hero that fights in ranged combat, puts out some good damage, and has a bunch of fancy orc gadgets. Here's that Plague Champion though, kicking off on the west side as it can be really dicey. Early engagements, Orks versus Chaos. Heretics could wipe, Sluggers could wipe. We've got double Sluggers for boss. These guys getting in on the Plague Champion of Pianot, who runs away. Heretics also flee. These guys could be in trouble. They just got their burners, and I don't think they're going to escape here. CSM are shooting them. Yeah, Heretics are chasing them, and down they go. Down goes the Plague Champion of Shroom. Those Heretics could also wipe. That's a stomp in retreat path. Down go those Heretics. Losses all over the place. But I think the Slugger loss with burners was the biggest blow. Kommando Nob now pushes up. That twin link shooter of his does some good DPS, and here comes the Warboss. Can they get on the power? They can. Sluggers with burners, they should make short work of a couple of gens at least. Meanwhile, east side looks like the Plague Champion is doing okay. Some Nurgle worship there, trying to grab this contested power. But meets some Daka from Qwest. Mekboy with those orky left hooks against the Heretics. They should have stayed there. They couldn't seem to attack him. And there's that Nurgle worship again, just inching forward and worshipping. And this is Shroom supporting with some Heretics. They've now got even more of them with grenade launchers now. Looks like they did get 2 generators at least. Did they get the node? I don't think so. It's not rebuilding. Big old retreat now. Warboss did get away barely. Looters for boss. And I do see burners for handsome. None for Qwest. No more for boss yet. Oh, there we go. Burners on the way for the surviving sluggers. CSN are coming to the contested VP. Gonna meet some Daka, but these guys can take heavy cover and shoot back. Maybe get a model if they're not careful. Get a decap. You should back away now, I think. Maybe. Kommando Nob now taking some shots. Yeah, they got a decap and backed away. You see the stink of that damage over time bolter on those shooter boys there. Meanwhile, east side, some Nurgle worship. Light grenades are in. Could do a huge amount of work in tier 1 here. And Raptors up for Oceans. Jump troop that suppress when they land. Plague Champion taking a lot of damage here. Barely gets away. Nurgle worship may have saved him. Storm Boys there to counter initiate the Raptors. And the Storm Boys do have power melee weapons. And look at them ripping through those Raptors there with Slugger support. Took so much damage so quickly, but they do get away without a model loss. There's that Stormboy jump. They kind of twist and turn in the air. CSM backing away. Doom Blast to facilitate the escape, maybe. They get their aspiring champion. There's the Doom Blast. Took a hell of a lot of damage unnecessarily there, there's Heretics, I think. Stormboy's going for a finish with a jump. And they got them, and the aspiring champion goes down. Seems like Oceans was trying to retreat them, and they were disobeying him. Looters pushing up here for boss. Trying to lock down the power for a bash. Down goes one generator. Plague Champion of Shroom has nothing in the way of war gear, nor does Pianot. Warboss has got the pole. Painboy taking damage. This is Handsome's Painboy. Stays in play though. Raptors here for Pianot. Not sure they want to jump into this though. Eternal War for the CSM of Shroom. Still got, we got double grenade launcher Heretics now. Can pump out a whole bunch of burst damage, especially against tightly clumped shooter boys like that. Warboss trying to lead the line. Grenade barrage is well timed to slow them down a bit, and is forced off. They should be able to deal with these shooter boys here, but I mean there is a lot of DAC up, and here comes the Pain Boy tying up the CSM. Does damage over time, but it's only regular melee damage. I think the damage over time is piercing, I think. Looters here being all sneaky like. There's the jump. Slugger's not quite in position to threaten them on a jump there. Backing away is Boss. Does have double sluggers again with their burners up. There's a War Banner. Tier 2 for Shroom, the first player to go. Pianot with some Havocs. We see them there. Heavy Bolter in tow. And I think they're going to cap it all up on this west side, the Chaos team. Can they get some power bashing of their own done? Been bashed a couple of times. Not full bashes. A couple of gens each time, I think, maybe. Eternal War for the CSM of Oceans. Haven't seen the Blight Grenade thrown yet. Could get it on these sluggers if they try to get in. Raptors with the jump. Sluggers there to turn on them. Plague Champion inches forward for the throw. It's a pretty good one. Did hit his own Raptors a bit. Storm Boys of Qwest coming out of nowhere. Can they finish off the Raptors as they retreat? Can they even get a model? They can. Not very good at hitting retreating units, those guys. A little bit clumsy. Decent little push from Oceans. CSM are quite healthy and might be able to shoot down the node, perhaps. West side is blue. Kommando with his stick bombs. Bombs on sticks. Blood Crusher on the way for Shroom. Tier 2 for all the Chaos players. This Blood Crusher could do a hell of a lot of work here. There's a Nurgle Shrine. Would not expect to see one there. If you worship this thing, it allows you to reinforce your units. Otherwise, it'll heal you. I think it's like 7% per heal. So it's pretty good. And if you worship it, it heals more often. And suppresses enemies as well when you get this. It's a pretty damn good shrine, is what I'm saying. Look at it suppressing these sluggers here. Grenade launcher heretics getting into melee. Oh, because of Touch of Nurgle. Touch of Nurgle is set to be nerfed in 293. The cost is going up, I think, to 175. 441 to 409. Slight VP lead for the Chaos team. Stick bombs on retreat path. Nicely done. Couldn't quite finish off those fellas though. One guy gets away. There's that Blood Crusher. A Bloodletter riding a Juggernaut's vehicle armor, and it counts as a demon, so you can worship that guy to great effect. And Orks don't have a lot of answer to it, you know, since they're in tier 1. Go straight for the power here. 90 odd something heavy melee DPS, doesn't have a splash and doesn't have melee resistance either. Can be quite fragile, only 600 hit points. Does have good mobility though, gets in on his looters. Can't get their beamy anti-vehicle weapon until tier 2. Warboss could get a claw. Going for some tank busters though. Qwest still hasn't started tier 2, there we go. Starts to tier 2. Blood Crusher still chasing down the looters. I think might chase them all the way into base and finish them off. Only take a few hits to kill that guy. Going for it. Here are the tank busters though. And they can do that. Might need to tie up the tank busters or just leave. Charges away. Should be alright. They might get another volley or a barrage. It's a pretty good barrage. Almost finished off the Blood Crusher there. Havoc's pushing up. The Raptors have their aspiring champion. He gets that Demon Maul. There he is. Heavy melee weapon. Weird Boy for boss. Oceans with some Bloodletters. Demons with power melee weapons. Can warp and teleport around. Sluggers hide the boys here. And then Nob leaders on the way. Heretics able to spot them though. 441 to 341. Level 2 Commando and Orks streaming through. All of a sudden, the Sluggers looking very menacing with their Nob leaders. So another shrine. Going to be taken out by the tank busters, I think. Yeah, down it goes. Blood Crusher with a decent charge. Might have saved the model on those CSM there, who have gone for Marco Zinch. We've got a Plague Fist as well. Armor of Pestilence, and now the Icon of Nurgle for Shroom. This guy is ready to kick some orc ass. There's the Pestilence Strike. Goes after the Pain Boy, wants him off the field. Icon of Nurgle comes in. That passive damage every few seconds now. What is it? Every 2.5 seconds. Uh-oh. Use your choppers on the sluggers though. Needs to run away. They're going to do so much damage on retreat. I think it's going to be alright. Still damaging with Icon of Nurgle as he retreats out too. 436 to 328 on the VPs. That was a Weird Boy Warp Vomit being chased by a touch of Nurgle Heretics who can't quite get the Doom Blast they were looking for there. Going to get to choose which one explodes. Mega Boom Kick for the Commando. I think it means he throws more sticks. I think so. Blood Crusher on the prowl, looking for tank busters to tie up maybe with a backup base. Heretics leveled up. Well done, fellas. You didn't die horribly yet. I'm sure some of you have. Havocs with the Mark of Corn gives them a very, very damaging autocannon. Pretty damn effective at mincing through infantry. And that's a dead Commando. Marcos Inch CSM doing some work on retreat there. We do have a Power Claw Warboss, also spiky armor. Meanwhile, east side, what's been going on? We have a Chaos Dreadnought. We've got upgraded Storm Boys, upgraded Sluggers. Upgraded everything. What about the mech? The Big Shooter, Battery Pack and Proximity Mines. It's a default Dreadnought. Got that autocannon. And there's some Nurgle Worship. Nurgle Worship does heal up vehicles these days. Looks like they don't want to engage that guy. Storm Boys could get on it and do some work with the heavy melee weapon, but there's raptors and stuff there. And potentially a Blight Grenade throw waiting for them. Warboss has found a Blood Crusher to fight who charges away. Warboss is now pissed. Even more so than usual, I think the Orks are going to take back the west side here. Level 2 Plague Champion for Pianot with no war gear. This is Shroom with a level 2 Plague Champion. Typically means he's going to level up pretty well once he has the Icon of Noble, because it damages everything. So he gets a little bit of XP every time something dies. Even if he didn't actually get the killing blow himself. Raptors with a staggered jump. And they themselves get jumped, and because of the Nob leader, they get stunned. A good Blight Grenade throw though on these Orks here, these melee fellas. Still in there as the Plague Champion, needs to be careful. Tons of Dakar on his face, you see the infection spreading from the Blight Grenades. Dreadnoughts, okay-ish, taking beamy looter shots, but down they go. CSM getting in there in melee. Level 3 these fellas. Can they finish off the Storm Boys? They can. That was a bad engagement for Qwest. Looks like Pianot had a rough time too. Plague Champion's down. And we only got Heretics and CSM now. Predator tank on the way. But yeah, both teams having some losses at kind of the same time there. It's kind of evened out a bit. Although Pianot being the contested VP player may be a bit more detrimental to the blue team on this contested side, but they're getting power bashed over it. Got some Nurgle Worship, sorry, touch of Nurgle. There was a bit of Nurgle Worship as well. Really good push by Oceans. Pianot should get revived from there. Maybe. Is this guy going to revive him? I doesn't seem too interested. Taking a whole bunch of Dakar. Backs up. But that's not his Nurgle Worship, so it's not going to heal him up. Here's the Marco Zinc CSM now. Caught out of position. And the Orky shotgun. Special shooter tried to get some stick bombs in for a kill, but couldn't quite manage it. 343-299. Pianot back to his feet. And Shroom on the way to level 4. Defending the VP here are the shooters. They're not in cover though. Pouring some decent damage on the Blade Champion. Some Chaos Terminators for Shroom now. And here's the Mark of Nurgle Predator tank. Seen a lot of these things recently. East side. Bloodletters teleporting onto some Sluggers where they tried to. Sluggers ran away. And pushing through again is Oceans. Should be going for this VP a little bit more, I think. Tank Busters looking to shoot some Dreadnought, I think. Maybe. I'll play Champion, scares them off a bit. What is this? What's the Commando up to? Stick bombing things maybe? Whatever it was, I missed it. We've got the proximity mines slowing things down over here. The heretics can spot them though, if they're close enough. Transition into the mid is Oceans. Gonna find an angry Warboss though. And Qwest pushing against him has to back away. Death Dread is there. There's some Nurgle worship. Raptors jumping in. Drawing the Death Dread away from the Dreadnought. So good grenade throw again. This hasn't really had an answer to that so far. Tank Busters are here though. Raptors jumping out and they do get out. And there's a decent barrage and here comes a Power Claw. Can the Dreadnought make it out here? Tank Busters might be too far away to get another volley in here. Death Dread trying to chase using the Cult of Speed Global from the Mekboy. Might be enough to get it. Couple more hits. Down to 37 hit points. Smack, and that's enough. Heretics couldn't get there to repair in time. These Bloodletters of Oceans also in trouble. Trying to teleport away. And they do. They did get away there with the warp shift thing in effect. Look at this, blue team pushing through. Auto cannon up for the Terminators. Another Predator tank for Pianot. Couldn't quite get a decap there, but bashed it fully. Nob squad though for Handsome. Mina and Greener on the way. Poised for a big decisive tier 3 battle here. Here comes the Death Dread. Sluggers get a decap. It's a 1-to-1. Chaos Predator with tons of hit points, some health regen and melee resistance, which might help against the Nob squad. I'm not sure if it's going to help enough to live. Can they get on it? Where's that melee charge? No melee charge yet. They can't get close enough to trigger it. It's a Nurgle Shrine. Grenade Barrage can disrupt them. Yes, it can. Well done. Nice shot by Shroom. Now worshipping the Shrine, which should suppress those guys. There we go. Power Claw Warboss is pissed. Gonna fight a Blade Champion now. There's that Pestilent Strike. Would have got him killed if he stayed there, the Warboss, to stun. What's this in the middle? Hit some Orks. Got some more Chaos Terminators this time from Oceans. Using their Power Fists on this Death Dread. There's some Nurgle Worship as well. Level 2 Raptors, they've done well, these fellas. Pianot had some too at some point. Not sure if they ever made it to get their aspiring champion. Can they push onto the VP? Do they even want to? Maybe they'll come and support the west side here. Oceans. Still got these tank buses around from Handsome. Nob squad are getting huge hammers. We do have a looted tank needs repairs though. Are they both Mark of Nurgle? They are. Not great for taking on other vehicles, but so tough. And this green crap is bad news for enemy infantry. Getting a cap on the west side, are you fellas? Nope, you're shooting. Gonna take down this commander. I think he's gonna be okay though. Got a decap under infiltration. What is this? Death Dread's having some fun in amongst a bunch of infantry. Need some support though, because those are power fists and stuff in there. And some tanks. Gets away very, very quickly. Tier 3 for Qwest, the last player to get there, and we have a Chaos Predator on the way for Shroom. There's the 2-to-1 for Chaos. 324 to 193. Now we see that demoralization effect from the Chaos Terminators, and it would be demoralizing if your buddies got torn apart by an autocannon, I think. Weird Boy taking a lot of damage, needs to be careful. There he goes. Power bashing with Mark of Nurgle tanks. This is a lot of Orks. But can they make something happen? Beamy Death Gun getting shots in. Good disruption from the grenade launchers on the knobs there. Warboss getting a little bit lost. Got his heavy armor now. Almost 2,000 hit points at only level 3. Knobs and sluggers rampaging through. There's a good big boom shot from the looters. Scared those guys off. The red team might be able to push through here. A lot of tanks to take on. Another Mark of Nurgle one from Murshraam. Warboss, what's he up to? Having some pathing issues. Tank Buster Barrage doing some work. And Nob Squad going after the tank. But they are disrupted by something. Was that Grenade Launcher Heretics? I don't think so. Light Grenade winning there as well. Warboss with Power Claw shots, but doesn't quite have the durability to take on all this stuff. Orks hitting back. 322, 156. These Mark of Nurgle Predators are quite difficult to deal with en masse. Lots of demoralization from these autocannon and combi bolter kills. Death Tread still around. Raptors are still on level 2. They've done a lot of work. Well, maybe we'll see the tier 3 rocket launcher from the Kommando here. But they're struggling to deal with these tanks otherwise. This guy's pretty low though. Weird Boy can't stay in play. Looted tank has to back off. There's another one. Massive running firefight in the mid. No big decisive victories to force the other team off so far. Red team taking a natural VP bet. There's another looted tank over there. Sluggers doing some repairs. These are both bosses and this is quests. Decent VP lead for the blue Chaos team here. Lots of resources for Pianot. Saving up for something. And some Havocs for Murshraam. Could get a las cannon to help keep those looted tanks at bay. Maybe just want some more suppression for Nobs. That big boom shot. Oh, didn't seem to go off properly there. Didn't quite see it land. Mekboy backs away. Those mines would be really annoying for those tanks if they weren't being spotted by heretics. Raptors get rid of the shooter boys. Can they get onto this VP again? Still a 2-to-1 cap. Red team making a run for the west side. And it's a sneaky Kommando getting a decap here. Beamy looters. They're trying to shoot at the Terminators it seems. Maybe target the tanks, fellas. There we go. 299 to 124. Orks, I think, are going to get this west side. There's nothing here to disrupt them. Grenade launchers must have used their barrage already. Warboss with that heavy armor is tanking it. Just got a Painboy heal, I think, and does get the cap. There's now a Foot of Gork. Takes out the Predator tank. Was enough to finish it off there. 299 to 111. Orks are actually fighting this very well. Blastmaster getting a shot in there. Where is the Havocs? They've gone for Mark of Corn. There's some sheer damage output. Tank Buster Barrage. Look at the damage to the tank. Weird Boy gets a shot in there. Orks are inching forward with a slugger repair brigade following the liquid tanks. Another Predator goes down. Trying to grab the VP back again, but Terminators are right there. And Power Fist will beat Painboy, but Weird Boy Warp Vomit stuns him. Double cap for Chaos though, because meanwhile Oceans have got through onto this VP. and is locking it down a bit. Now has Armor of Pestilence and the Plague Fist up on this guy. Warboss trying to fight this. 299 to 42. Triple cap for Chaos. Looks like they have this one. Orks did a great push on the west side, but they just couldn't sustain it. The shrine and stuff was here. Lots of effort into putting the tanks down. They were taking damage the whole time, of course. Let's look at these heroes. Level 4 Plague Champion for Pianot. What is this? Armor of Pestilence. Level 5 for Murshraam. Level 5 also for Oceans. Did very well on the east side. Level 5 Commando. Surprised we didn't see the rocket launcher when we saw all those tanks. Level 4 Warboss. And a level 4 mech. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.